Your habits may be ruining your life, but they don't have to. In fact, there are 5 easy, quick steps that you could take to completely rewire your brain to stop sabotaging your learning and your life without the expensive tools or a full life overhaul. You know, your brain can be your best friend or your worst enemy, depending on how you use it and train it. And here's why. Some people suggest that 95% of your brain activity happens unconsciously. So once your brain encodes a habit, it runs on autopilot. And that's when it becomes the puppeteer, silently controlling your thoughts, your actions, your feelings, and your decisions, often without you even realizing it. That's why you feel stuck in routines that drain you, in behaviors that hijack your goals. But here's the great news. You can use the same brain systems that lock in bad habits to rewire better ones. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how your brain forms habits and science-based tools to change them, starting today. Are you ready? Let's dive in. I believe first you create your habits, then your habits create you. Habits shape everything in your life. Shapes your health, your happiness, your focus, your relationships, your work, and the kinds of behaviors that directly impact your limitless potential. Habits are, think about it as mental shortcuts built by your brain to conserve energy. But that means once those habits are formed, they also resist change. So breaking a habit doesn't happen through willpower alone. It happens through understanding how your habits are formed and working with your brain, not against it. Now, your brain forms habits using a 4-step loop. And if you can, write this down. There's a cue, there's a craving, there's a response, and there is a reward. So let's break this down. The cue is the trigger or the prompt. It might be a time of day. It might be an internal feeling. It might be a specific space or location, or even a person or an image. The cue wakes your brain up and tells it to prepare for something. Then you get the second part, which is the craving. This is the motivation stage where your brain creates a desire for the reward that will follow. You're not craving the behavior itself, you're craving the result. And that's where response comes in. This is the actual behavior, the action you take to satisfy that craving. It could be grabbing your phone. It could be lighting up a cigarette. It could be driving to your favorite fast food restaurant. And finally, the reward. The reward is a dopamine hit. It's relief. It's some form of pleasure, something that satisfies the craving and tells your brain, yep, I remember this. Each time you cycle through this habit loop, your brain builds a neural pathway. Over time, these pathways hardwire the behavior into a part of your brain called your basal ganglia. That's part of your brain that handles routines and automatic actions almost on autopilot. Once it's built, the habit runs itself, right? It's said in science that neurons that fire together, they wire together. And if they're constantly firing, they're constantly wiring, and it becomes almost like a highway. So understand this loop gives you the power, though, to intervene because you are aware and redesign your habits from the ground up. Now that you know how habits are formed, here's how you break a bad limiting habit in just 5 easy, quick steps. Number 1, identify your cue. Notice what triggers your behavior of that limiting habit. Is it stress? Is it boredom? Is it certain people? Or is it a time of day? The more specific the cue, the better. So for example, maybe you're feeling tired at 3 p.m. and that's your cue, and it leads to snacking on sugar, right? Some kind of sugar craving. Number 2, disrupt the craving. Here's where you interrupt the habit chain. If the craving is reaching for something sugary after feeling tired, change the pattern. Maybe you get up and splash cold water on your face, or you shift your environment. And don't keep sugary snacks near you, right? Just you want to control your environment. Number 3, offer a better response. What if you swapped out the unwanted behavior with a healthier alternative that satisfies that same craving? Let's use the same example. Let's say you're still craving sugar after disrupting the craving. Try swapping sugary snacks for something more brain-friendly. Maybe it's you're reaching for a cup of blueberries. The goal is to break the automatic link between the craving and the behavior. Number 4, reward immediately. Instant feedback matters. Your brain needs a very clear signal that the new habit is worth repeating. That's how the loop locks in. One of the most powerful ways to reinforce progress is to create a daily list of small goals. Even things like swap dessert for blueberries or take a 5-minute walk. And I would suggest use pen and paper. Don't just do this on an app. There's something so powerful about physically writing a check mark next to a goal. It almost triggers a reward response in your brain, like something's been accomplished. And don't be afraid to also talk to yourself in the third person. I know it may sound a little weird, but hear me out. Visualizing your future self and speaking directly to them creates a deeper emotional connection. For example, after choosing water over soda, you might say, "I'm doing this because I care about you." That one moment of intention builds your identity. And identity is what transforms behavior into your life, into your lifestyle. And finally, number 5, repeat and stack. Once you've replaced an old habit, you want to make the new behavior stick. One of the best ways to do that is through habit stacking. What is it? It's linking the new habit to something you already do consistently. So for example, if your sugar craving hits every afternoon after you feel tired, use that as your anchor. Use that as your cue. Now it becomes, after I feel tired in the afternoon, I get up, I stretch, I drink a glass of water, and I have a cup of blueberries. When you stack new habits onto existing routines, it helps your brain follow a predictable path. And over time, that loop becomes automatic, just like the old habit was. Only now it's working in your favor. Are you tired of constantly feeling overwhelmed by your never-ending to-do list? Do you struggle to find enough hours in the day to accomplish everything you need? But what if I told you there's a solution that can help you take back control of your time, your focus, your productivity? I'd like to introduce you to Kwik Productivity. This 10-day course is designed to provide you with the proven strategies you need to get more done in less time without burning out. So if you're ready to learn to get the most out of your time, your tasks, and your life, then don't wait any longer. Click the link below to learn more and secure your spot and your access right now. Now, I just want to talk about your mindset. If you want to change your habit, you have to start with your mindset. Think about change and how it directly impacts whether you follow through. You need to believe that change is possible. Instead of saying, this is just who I am, what if you shifted your growth mindset and remind yourself, I can learn, I can adapt, I can rewire my brain. I am the pilot of my mind, not the passenger, because you can. And if you want to keep building a growth mindset, I highly recommend checking out my video, How to Stop Negative Self-Talk. And in it, I will walk you through how to become more self-aware, reframe your inner dialogue, and stop letting negative thoughts control your habits and your life. I'll link it on the screen. Okay, once you've made that mindset shift, you want to layer in accountability. Don't just set goals in your head. You could say it out loud to somebody who you respect to help you stay on track. For example, if you're cutting sugar this month or alcohol, tell a friend, hey, I'm working on this goal. Can you check in with me? And when we go out, please remind me. Having someone in your corner, even just a quick text or a reminder, increases the likelihood that you'll follow through. This combination of belief plus accountability is incredibly powerful. It rewires your limitless brain to work faster than willpower alone because you're reinforcing your new identity with action and connection with community. One thing to watch out for as you start changing your habits is how the people around you react. We just talked about the power of accountability. Having someone support your goals can make all the difference. But here's the truth. Not everyone will root for your growth. Some friends and even family might feel uncomfortable when you start to demonstrate change. Maybe they're not ready to face their own habits. Maybe they're afraid of losing you because you're growing. Maybe your progress challenges their own comfort zone. If you feel discouraged by someone in your circle, my suggestion is consider drawing some boundaries. And I don't mean putting up walls. I mean being clear and direct about how serious you are. Let them know this is something I'm committed to, and I'd really appreciate your support. And if they're not on board, that's okay. You don't need to cut them out, but you do need to lean more into the relationships that lift you up, not hold you back. That's why we created our Kwik community, right? People of like-minded, lifelong learners appreciate, respect growth, and encourage growth in each other. You could surround yourself with people who reflect the version of you that you're working to become. Even at our event, Limitless Live, there'll be 1,000+ individuals who are like-minded and like-hearted. You could find your tribe. You could create your own mastermind, your own accountability circle of people who are growing and giving. But you're surrounding yourself with people who reflect who you want to become. Now, I also want to mention your physical environment because it matters just as much. A lot of habits are triggered by space, by places. For example, let's say you're passing your favorite fast food restaurant on your way home and it sparks a craving. Maybe you take a different route. If you're always scrolling when you go to bed, what if you leave your phone in your bathroom? That's controlling your environment. When you control the external environment, you control your internal environment. Remember, your brain responds to visual cues in your environment. So if you want to change the behavior, change the visual cues. Small changes in your environment can remove temptation, it can reduce friction, and make it much easier to follow through. Remember, your habits don't live in isolation. They live in some kind of context. And when your environment and your relationships align with your goals, then progress stops feeling like a struggle and it starts feeling more like momentum. Just imagine what your life could look like if your habits actually worked for you instead of against you. Waking up with energy, feeling clear and focused, showing up as the version of yourself you desire and deserve, you know you're capable of becoming. And that version of you, it's not some distant dream. It's already possible because your brain is built to adapt. You just need to give it the right instructions. You don't need to change everything overnight. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start one habit at a time. And if you made it this far, it means you're serious about rewiring your habits, and that's something to be incredibly proud of. What's the first habit you're ready to change? Let me know in the comments. I speed read every single one of them. I'd love to hear what you're working on and root you on. Make sure to save this video so you can come back and revisit the steps anytime you need this quick reminder. And always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more brain health and performance learning strategies. If you want to keep building towards healthier habits, watch my next video where I share my morning routines for ultimate brain performance. I'll see you there, and until then, stay limitless.